mentally and physically, period.
Tori, KJ threw an interception that cost his team a shot at the chip.
What if one of the biggest relationship stories in All-American Season 8 isn't the one everyone is talking about? While fans have been focused on KJ and Amina or Jordan stepping into a leadership role, another connection may be quietly growing in the background. I'm talking about Khalil and Tori. At first, their interactions seemed casual. Nothing about them screamed, future couple. But the more Season 8 progresses, the more it feels like the writers are deliberately giving these two meaningful moments together. Now, to be clear, this is only a theory based on what we've seen so far. The show hasn't confirmed any romantic storyline between Khalil and Tori. But if you've been paying attention, there are a few subtle signs that suggest their relationship could become much more important than it first appeared. Let's break it down. One thing that's become clear this season is that almost every major character is entering a new chapter. Jordan is learning what it means to lead without trying to replace Billy. KJ is adjusting to new responsibilities both on and off the field. Amina is figuring out who she wants to become. And Khalil is trying to move forward after everything he's been through. Instead of repeating old storylines, the writers seem interested in showing these characters build new relationships. That makes Khalil and Tori's growing connection feel believable. One thing I noticed is how natural their interactions feel. There isn't unnecessary drama. There aren't forced romantic moments. Instead, they simply seem comfortable around each other. That's usually how All-American builds relationships. The writers rarely rush emotional connections. They let characters become friends first. Then, if the chemistry feels genuine, they slowly allow those friendships to evolve. Khalil has spent much of Season 8 carrying emotional weight. He's serious. He's focused. Sometimes he keeps his thoughts to himself. But when he's around Tori, there are moments where that pressure seems to disappear. The conversations feel lighter. He's more relaxed. He doesn't seem like someone who's constantly carrying the world on his shoulders. Those moments matter because they reveal a side of Khalil we don't always get to see. One reason their friendship works is because Tori doesn't appear interested in judging Khalil based on his past or the expectations other people have for him. Instead, she seems willing to get to know him as he is now. That's important. Many of the show's strongest relationships begin when two people stop seeing each other through everyone else's expectations. If Tori continues approaching Khalil that way, it's easy to see why he'd enjoy spending time with her. Season 8 keeps emphasizing personal growth. Nobody is the same person they were a year ago. Khalil is trying to become a better version of himself. He's learning from mistakes. He's thinking more carefully about his future. Tori seems like someone who appreciates that journey instead of expecting perfection. That kind of support can become incredibly meaningful. One reason this theory makes sense is timing. The writers aren't introducing this possibility during a major crisis. Instead, they're allowing it to develop during a period when both characters are naturally growing. That gives the relationship room to breathe. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like two people gradually realizing they enjoy being around each other. Sometimes new relationships aren't about replacing old ones. They're about helping someone move into the next stage of life. If Khalil has been carrying emotional baggage, meeting someone like Tori can help him see things differently. Not because she solves his problems, but because she reminds him that life isn't only about the challenges he's faced. Sometimes it's about the possibilities still ahead. The best relationships in All-American usually involve people pushing each other to grow, not through arguments, through honesty. If Tori becomes someone who's willing to challenge Khalil when he makes questionable decisions, that could strengthen their bond. Real support doesn't always mean agreeing with someone. Sometimes it means encouraging them to become better. It's important not to jump to conclusions. The writers may simply be building a strong friendship. And honestly, that would work too. Not every meaningful connection has to become romantic. However, if the show continues giving Khalil and Tori more shared scenes, more personal conversations, and more emotional moments, it's reasonable to wonder whether something deeper is developing. One thing longtime All-American viewers know is that this series rarely rushes relationships. Characters don't usually fall in love after one conversation. Instead, the writers build trust first. Friendship comes before romance. Respect comes before attraction. That's one reason this theory feels possible. Nothing dramatic has happened. The foundation is simply being laid, one scene at a time. If Khalil and Tori do become closer, it could naturally affect the dynamics within the friend group, not through unnecessary drama, but through changing relationships. As people grow closer to one another, priorities shift, friendships evolve, new bonds are formed. That's part of growing up, and it's something All American has always portrayed well. So here's my prediction. I don't think the writers are trying to create a sudden love story between Khalil and Tori. Instead, I think they're quietly planning the foundation for a relationship that feels earned. Right now, it starts with trust. It grows through honest conversations. And it develops because both characters seem comfortable being themselves around each other. If that continues, don't be surprised if Season 8 eventually reveals that what began as a simple friendship has slowly become something much deeper. Whether it turns into romance or remains one of the strongest friendships on the show, Khalil and Tori's connection already feels meaningful. And sometimes, the best relationships in All American are the ones you barely notice at first. They don't begin with grand gestures. They begin with small moments, mutual respect, and two people slowly realizing that they enjoy having each other in their lives. What do you think? Are Khalil and Tori simply becoming close friends? Or do you think All American is quietly setting up its next big romance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.